Last year, I uploaded this video where I asserted that LEGO needs to just make a custom mold for the Destroyer Droid minifigures already. My rationale was that they've had over 2 decades to try and get it right, and they still have yet to find a design that actually does so. And even though there are countless incredible models put out by fans everywhere, none of them would really work all that well in an official LEGO set because, although they look incredible, they have to use a lot of weak connection points in order to achieve that aesthetic. And that would definitely be a no-no, especially if it was going to end up in a playset. In short, the only way that they're going to make a good-looking Destroyer Droid is if they make 3 to 4 pieces expressly for the Destroyer Droid. And since I like LEGO models to look as good as possible, I am 100% in favor of a Destroyer Droid mold. However, after uploading that video, I quickly realized that the exact same rationale can apply to the AT-RT walkers. They've had over 2 decades to try and get it right, and they still have yet to find a design that actually does so. And even though there are countless incredible models put out by fans everywhere, none of them would really work all that well in an official LEGO set because, although they look incredible, they have to use a lot of weak connection points in order to achieve that aesthetic. And that would definitely be a no-no, especially if it was going to end up in a playset. In short, the only way that they're going to make a good-looking AT-RT is if they make 3 to 4 pieces expressly for the AT-RT. However, I don't think that a custom AT-RT mold would be a good idea. In fact, I'd probably have to say that I'm against it. Now, granted, the AT-RTs don't suffer nearly as much as the Droidekas do. They still look good, they're just ridiculously oversized. Whereas the Droidekas don't look good and are ridiculously oversized. And yes, the one on screen right now is technically a sniper Droideka, but the point still remains. Now, just because they might not be as bad as the Destroyer Droids, doesn't mean that there isn't a problem. I know that they're not up to mine, nor a lot of other LEGO fans' satisfaction. Now, even though it has all of the same problems that the Destroyer Droid does, I would never dream of giving it the same remedy. After that original video, I had a lot of people tell me that I'm not a true LEGO fan if I just want custom molds for everything, that at this point, I may as well collect action figures. Now, I personally consider myself a true LEGO fan, and the reason why I am ultimately okay with a custom Destroyer Droid mold is because, at the end of the day, they are minifigures. Destroyer Droids are really not that big. They absolutely count as minifigures. And, well, LEGO makes custom minifigure molds all the time, so I don't see how a custom Destroyer Droid mold would be controversial. Of course, AT-RTs are not minifigures. So, while I don't see a custom Destroyer Droid mold being a betrayal of everything that LEGO stands for, a custom AT-RT mold would definitely feel a little bit cheap. Of course, if LEGO ever did make a custom AT-RT mold, it wouldn't be the end of the world, it wouldn't ruin my life, but I definitely think it would detract a little bit from the LEGO part of LEGO Star Wars. Unless it came out in a 4+ set. The 4+ lineup is certainly not shy about making very customized pieces. And just because of the target audience for these sets, I don't think that the customized pieces are quote-unquote anti-LEGO in the same way that we talked about earlier. Now, maybe these pieces aren't quite as hyper-focused as I think they are. They could show up in other themes that I don't know about. But what I do know is that if LEGO were to make a 4+ AT-RT, I would not be particularly surprised if they made a brand new specialized piece to capture the shape of the AT-RT that they otherwise cannot do with their current durability restraints. Now, am I saying that I want LEGO to make a 4+ AT-RT? I mean, no, not really. Chances are that even if they did, the execution of any specialized molded pieces wouldn't really be detail-oriented. They would be more 4+ playset oriented and not look good anyways. Now, obviously, you can take any special molded pieces and use them in a mock to make the ATRT look better. The only question is how much better. What I am saying, though, is that if you are someone who wants LEGO to shrink down the ATRTs, a 4+ ATRT is probably your best bet. It still wouldn't look nearly as good as the custom models, but it would look significantly more accurate than what they give us now, and it would still be sturdy enough for them to put it on store shelves. Now, considering everything that I talked about earlier, this whole 4+ custom part thing definitely feels like a loophole, and, well, that's because it is a loophole. Me personally, I don't think I'd really care if they took the loophole or not. I mean, it wouldn't particularly affect my life in any meaningful way, but I am curious what you would have to say. Would you like to see a 4+ ATRT, which is probably the best chance we have of ever seeing a custom molded ATRT piece? Or would you rather see the LEGO group get more creative and a little bit looser with their stability requirements? Or do you just not have any idea what the heck I'm talking about right now? Which, to be honest, I might be in that boat with you. I'm kind of confusing myself a little bit here. Anyways, I guess this is where I'm supposed to say subscribe and hit the like button. So, subscribe and hit the like button.